What's good, YouTube? This is another one of my prison stories. It's your boy, Mr. OG with the kicks. At the end of the video, like, subscribe, and comment. In prison, man, you run across a lot of different people and a lot of different things. And if you're in the gang in prison, man, you got rules, especially if you're a gangster disciple or a vice lord. Me, I was a gangster disciple. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was claiming at the time. And being a gangster disciple, we had laws and policies that we had to live by. And one law, you know what I'm saying, that we had, I won't get into the law and break it down, you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, break in the rules, even though I'm not a part of that anymore. Still, a lot of people know me. But you couldn't mess with boys. And boys is another man that we call boys. You know, someone that was gay, we call them boys in prison. And then they made their own rules up in prison. They came with, well, if you got, I think it was, if you had over 30 years or a life sentence, then you could have a boy, which to me still violated what the laws and policies, you know what I'm saying, stood for. But anyway, I was at the annex, and at the annex, no one has 30 years. If you do got 30 years, you've been locked up so long, you get ready to go home. Because once you make it to the annex, it's just basically a minimum security place where you're headed home. You can go outside and work and do different things. Well, we had a store. All the G's, we had a store. You know what I'm saying? We ran a store together. We put in dues every month. Every month on payday, which was once a month, you know what I'm saying? When you get paid from the prison for working your job, we all had to put in $6 worth of commissary. So we had a pretty big store at the time. We had maybe like, we were keeping it in all our commissary in 3 sales. We had maybe like almost $2,000 in food. But we was keeping maybe most of it, about $800 worth of food. And one guy said, and I won't say his real name, but we called him Shady. And I used to, at the time, I was the institutional coordinator down there at the annex. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go around and check and see what was going on. You know what I'm saying? How the commissary was looking. You know what I'm saying? This and that. And one day I went in there and I said, let me do a count on the commissary. And I went in there and counted the commissary, and we went from $800 to maybe like $400. So I said, where the paperwork at? Let me look at the paperwork. Maybe he got a bunch of stuff out. Well, I looked and seen that he didn't have nothing wrote down. So now we can't figure it out. So we have a meeting, and Shady says he don't really know where the stuff is going. So okay, we're you know what I'm saying, gonna start investigating. Well, maybe a few days later, we come back, and there's Shady in the room with a boy kissing him. Now we pull the boy to the side. We talking to the boy. The boy tells everything. Yeah, Shady been feeding him every day, getting him free food, cigarettes. Now it's all coming out. So now we do what we call paperwork. You have man, we hold court, like a real court. You have a right, you know what I'm saying? Somebody hand shaded the paperwork, tell him he been wrote up. You know what I'm saying? He has the right to have an attorney, which he can get another brother to defend him. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to, if he don't want to cop out. And the cop out for him was a 6-minute cover up. 6-minute cover up means that you can't be hit in the face, but you know what I'm saying, you get all body shots, leg shots, or whatever. Now, if you want to fight back, then that's a 6-minute no cover up. That means they can punch you anywhere, man. Really, and I've seen some brothers go to the hospital behind that one. You know what I'm saying? But so Shady decided he didn't want a lawyer or anything. He was gonna go ahead and cop out and take the plea. You know what I'm saying? The 6 minutes. So we took him in a room. Somebody held the clock. 3 brothers, you know what I'm saying, stood around and they beat on him for 6 minutes. The clock stops. If you fall down, the clock stops. So, if you ain't no need to go into the ground. Because if you go to the ground, the clock stops. When you get back up, the clock starts again. So, man, in prison, like I said, this going to be a short story today. But in prison, man, you'll run across some crazy things, man. There's a lot of guys in there, you know what I'm saying, there's really some sick individuals. I don't care if you got a life sentence or not. To me, I just don't see, I don't believe a man should mess with a man. But man, I just hope y'all like this little short story right here. If you do, comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Have a good day.